All right. Says we're live. Sweet. Awesome. Share this all around. Make sure we get a maximum audience. Bit of a dry opening just to get it started.
There you go.
Did you finally find me?
Just popped up a notification for me.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why viewership's taking forever to grow.
I'm seeing eight.
Or just the show just not popular anymore. No one likes us.
It's Nationals time, huh?
It is national time. All right. Shared. Pull this up my screen. I'll probably play the audio as soon as I click play here. This laptop is getting so old on me. Finally find me. There it is. Here I am. I hear me. Now go full screen. There we go. Oh, and muted. Perfect. Now we got everything set up to the way I need it to in order to run a decently maintained, on time, surefire, no fail show. Let me send out a couple of links here. Ross.
That's me.
How's your Wednesday?
Wednesday wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad?
Did a couple things.
Yeah.
Came home, did a couple other things.
There you go.
Put together a little tractor.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, for the little one.
It's got a birthday coming up.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. 1 year old already.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's crazy to think everything was a year ago now.
Right.
Birth of your kid, national. Well,
Right.
they called it Worlds for like that 5-minute span last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, same for me.
Here we are. We're live.
Here we are, A Bracket Media Night. Thank you to those who tuned in last night. We had a great show. Shout out to James Ward, Preston Shivers, Deuce Dutch, Dallas First, TJ Holston, Tay Sosa, Tommy Lightfoot, for all joining us. It was a great time talking to those guys and seeing what they have in store coming up for nationals. But now we move on from the B bracket to the A bracket with A Bracket Media Night. Let's talk about this year's A bracket. Well, really can we? Like, this was, like I said in last night's B show, it was a strange year for flag football. Flag was very regional for the most part. Corona Classic 2 did have 7-point spread show up in it. They traveled up there from Virginia, but other than that, there really wasn't much of a presence of the A division this year. Corona 2, like I said, that was the only tournament where there was an A and B designation all year. Corona 1 was open. But you could argue it was a borderline A tournament. Corona 1 was due to what the talent was in there. But for the most part, it's been, as Jamie Wolf said last night in the comments, I think this is the year that a lot of teams should have tried out A.
Right.
Because while some teams in A have gotten a lot of bump, others really haven't. And so I feel like it's going to be a very interesting, very intriguing bracket, to say the least. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how it all goes down. I take a look over at the teams in the A bracket. It's only 13 this year, down 3 from last year. Last year we had 16 last year. Teams that are not coming back. The Syracuse Vikings, I believe they were called. They're not returning.
Right.
Back in Black, as Skinny and Preston mentioned, they're out for this one. Want to say, I'm not sure if Texas Prime and Texas Boys were the same team. It might be for all I know. I don't know 100%. I didn't get a chance to watch the Texas team last year, so I can't really give any insight on them.
Right.
Second Gen has dropped out. Some of their guys will be popping up on rollers. Adrenaline Rush, as we know, they folded. Anarchy folded. They split up. Some of those guys are playing with the Elite Rebels down in the B bracket. Blazers went down to B. Bullets didn't even play 9-man this year, so they're out entirely. They'll be appearing in 5-man, but they won't be at 9. So for the most part, when you take a look, I don't know if I'm missing anybody or not, but there's been a big changeover in A going into this tournament. Now, for the most part, we have gained other teams in the A bracket this year. Joining this year is going to be Scorpions. They played B last year. They won B last year, as we know. Also joining them will be the 148 Outlaws, who played in B last year. In fact, I just posted a game earlier today that I forgot I had in my archives, courtesy of Jamie Wolf. It is 148 Outlaws versus the Rhode Island Spartans from Worlds last year. Really good defensive battle. Looking forward to seeing what the Outlaws have. I don't remember TakeOver being there last year. That's right. Playmakers Elite also has dropped out. They were another team who was there last year who won't be back this year. Now that I think about them. And you also have the addition of the Rollers. So really looking forward to seeing just how everything goes down in this A bracket. I'm pretty intrigued. Like I said, flag football has been very much regional this year. It is, like I said, there's last night you've had flags spread out, some going on in the South. I actually did discover that No Excuses team from Miami, they play in a league called the South Florida Flag Football Association. I found some of their footage on YouTube earlier. So it's intriguing to get to see how everybody's getting around this year, how they're preparing, because it is the hardest nationals to call to date on terms of individual games, because for the most part, none of these teams have seen each other.
Right.
Now, of course, the A teams, they all know each other well. There is a lot of familiarity in the higher upper echelon of the A bracket. But then you look at some of the unknowns, how are certain teams going to look with what personnel they got. But I'm really looking forward to some of these matchups they got. We're going to go over them next week when we do our A bracket review show. That'll be next Thursday night. We'll have that for you. That'll be a show we're going to try to do. I'll have more details later next week once I get a chance to actually work on it. But tonight, let's see. Let me post a link in the chat if anybody does want to call in that's playing an A. And I just want players to join in tonight, if anything. Let's see real quick. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this tournament goes. A bracket play starts at 3:30 on Friday. It'll be TakeOver and Lions to boot. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that game goes. Other games going on, I believe they have that day. Friday's a pretty stacked lineup.
Yeah.
You have a Punishers Rollers rematch from the Corona Classic tournament. You also have Main Event versus Strong Island. Sorry about that. Answering some messages real quick.
Main Event versus Bulldogs, huh?
Yeah. Another matchup when they've played a lot over the last several years. They played at Nationals 2 years ago. They met in Atlantic City. They met in Virginia Beach, Albany, Baltimore, Worlds last year. It's crazy to think that we've gone a full year without them actually facing off against one another. It has been a full year since we saw Main Event versus Strong Island. Crazy to think about when you consider they met like 6 different times in that 1 year span on the circuit. Probably one of, if not the best current rivalry going in flag football, in my opinion. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that game unfolds when that kicks off. But joining us first tonight is a man everybody knows by now. See, we're going to connect real quick. Says connecting to audio. There we go. We got Eric on. Welcome to the show for the first time, Eric Bost.
Joey B, what's good, man?
It's a great night, man. It's good to have you on, man. I never would have thought in a million years you'd be on my show. I remember years ago, the first time I saw you, I was in the gym, and I only knew about it because Andy Hoffman was tagged in the post, and he was my commissioner at the time in the league.
Hey.
I tuned in and watched that night. I had no idea who you were or anything at the time.
Right.
Years later, I always tune in when you're on, man. Love the work you do up there.
Listen, I appreciate you, man. It's a privilege to be on. I love what you guys are doing. I try to tune in as much as possible. I think you guys got a lot of good things going, man. And what you do for flag football down there is amazing, man.
Thank you. Much appreciated. When's Punishers coming to the DMV? Is it going to happen this spring, this fall, this summer? What do you got?
Hey, listen, man, we try to come to the DMV as soon as possible. Pun DMV, Punisher South, Punishers Worldwide. We trying to bring Punishers on the road. And, what we're looking to do is connect with a few guys who need some little extra push, bring some Punisher swag to the situation. And, we want to come down and experience some of the things that we hear about in some of these other areas, like your area, possibly Midwest Punishers. We want to do something out there as well, even if it's just for a season, just to come out and have some fun with it. And if there's anybody that needs some help on the travel team, we could do more than one Punisher situation. So, we might do something like that too and see how it goes.
I like it. I like that a lot. That sounds awesome. Especially being able to go around and see the different regions and how flag football is played, because the 9-man culture everywhere you go is very much the same, and yet it's so different.
Right.
Like there's so many different things to it.
Right.
St. Louis, they have their own league where they have several teams and they play for a city championship on a yearly basis.
Right.
We were talking to them last night. They mentioned they play a whole 16-game season every season.
I like the St. Louis guys, man. Skinny Ward, that's my guy out there. He's been my guy for a while. They have a lot of talent in St. Louis. They always bring a lot of teams and nationals. So hopefully maybe one day we'll get a tournament out there. But for us, we just like to link up with people outside of our circle. We see a lot of things like from your show, and Skinny posts a lot of stuff as well. And it intrigues us. We just want to go have some fun with some good people. We can't come every weekend, but if the commissioners will allow, we get some double and triple headers, maybe every other weekend, every third weekend or something like that, we'll be able to make something happen.
Like I said last night in the comments, man, the invite to come to Hagerstown is right there.
Love it.
We'd love to have you. You can come to the studio, chill with us. It'd be great.
Absolutely. I definitely would take you up on that offer. And the feeling's mutual, man. If you guys ever up this side, let me know.
I've been trying to, man. Every time I've gotten close to heading up that way, Corona's hit. Atlantic City, I was supposed to be up there. Corona hit. Corona 2, I was supposed to be up there.
So I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you this. Hopefully, COVID allows. I'm sorry. Let me turn this. Hopefully, COVID allows. But in 2021, we definitely want to do something, in honor of Chris Severino and have a really good situation up here. We're going to strengthen league play and unify some leagues here. I sent an invite out to some of the leagues in the DMV to be a part of a championship series that we want to put together, where all the local leagues are going to send their champion to a tournament, basically a true tournament of champions. We'd love the DMV league champions to join. The leagues put up some money, and winner takes all, and it has to be a league roster, no travel rosters, league roster only. So if we get that going, I'd love for you to be a part of that. I love for, all the respective media that represent their leagues and their regions to be a part of it. I think it could be something really impactful and really special.
I would love to be a part of that, man. I really would. I think that would be an awesome way to bring everyone together. I've been thinking of a couple ideas myself as well. Like I had an idea because we did something on Thanksgiving where we had the Turkey Bowl where it was a free agency tournament.
Right. I saw that. That looked live, man. I want to participate in something like that. That was cool.
The idea I thought about was in the summer, if we can find a park or a facility where we could bring in food trucks and everything else, I'd say we host an open free agency 9-man tournament. We vote on captains. We hold a draft a couple days prior, and we meet up for a weekend tournament of just players, and we all just hang out from different leagues.
Hey, I'd support that. It'd be cool to play along some guys that you normally only get to play against, see different combinations of guys playing together. I definitely would like to see something like that. I think that's a decent idea if we can make that happen. I'd support it.
100%. I like your idea as well, man. We got a lot of things we could definitely do with this game, and there's a lot of great things coming to this game.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to nationals, and then after nationals, I think we're going to have some really good momentum. Everybody's really hungry to play some football, so some good months coming up.
Agreed 100%. And you know what? Honestly, it's inevitable because the momentum we had going into AC was crazy. We had 38 B teams signed up for that AC tournament.
Right. That was like ever. We were really looking forward to Atlantic City. The B division, I think, has just been phenomenal. The B division, from the A looking to the B, I know people talk a lot of shit about, difference in talent, potentially line play and things like that. But to me, the B division just looks fun. There's so many different teams. Rhode Island always sends several teams, DMV, St. Louis. There's teams from everywhere. New York, even, we have several teams that come out there, and everybody has their own identity. Mostly everyone has their uniforms. Uniforms are always done correctly. And it's just good football, man. So don't be surprised. You might see me in the B one day. I'm only coming if I can play quarterback, though. I might start Punisher's B team.
That'd be awesome.
The Punishers.
The Punishers. I like that. I'm taking that one.
You can have it.
You got to earn the P. You got to earn the P.
Oh,
That's hilarious, man.
Looking over at the Punishers year you guys had, went out Corona 1, went out and won that tournament, dominated the Rollers in the championship game.
Absolutely. Say it again.
Dominated the Rollers. That's going to be one of those games that I'm looking forward to seeing, man. Oh my gosh, what a way to start Friday.
10 grand, baby.
10 grand on the line?
10 grand on the line. I got word today Mike Frosca wanted to take it up to 15 grand, but we're going to keep it at 10 grand right now. We'll see, as things get closer. But, Friday, the way we're doing the tournaments now where you have to earn the right to get the Sunday, it makes every game count on Friday and Saturday. And when you look up at the matchups across the board, like TakeOver and Alliance kicking off on Friday is going to be huge for the A. Punishers and Rollers, I think it's a game everybody wants to see. Is going to be a real spicy situation. I know they have a good team. They got some really good additions. We're going to come out and do what we do. So it's going to be really what 9-man's about. And then you have other, games later in the evening. TakeOver, 7-point spread, I believe, and Gladiators play. And then main event has a game against the Dogs that I want to see as well. So there's about 4 or 5 games Friday night kicking off nationals are going to be crazy. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that first game, TakeOver and Alliance, is going to set the tone for that third bracket. Whoever wins that game is in a really good position, and whoever loses that game is going to be in a dogfight, for the rest of the tournament. And that's going to set the tone for all the other brackets in terms of who will be eligible for Sunday. So it's going to be crazy, man. Next weekend is going to be insane.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing that makes this tournament the most unique of all the tournaments. I've always said you could get away with BSing Saturday as long as you come out Sunday and win. I've seen Rampage go 0-2, number 11 seed, and then win Clash of York the next day.
Right.
It's not about how you come out on Saturday. It's what you do on Monday day.
Right.
But in this tournament, you can't get away with that. There is no room for error.
I think in years past, if you were a high-performing 1 and 2 team, you had a decent chance to make it to Sunday. This year, if you don't win 2 games, I don't think you make it to Sunday. You got to win at least 2 games. If you go 1 and 2, you're out, depending on how things fall. And the brackets are pretty solid, like 1-4-8, they have a lot of athletes, from what I've been told, a phenomenal young receiver, defensive back, Alliance, they have a good quarterback. They have a good team. It's really going to come down to that trench work. Like I said, High Rollers, they've made some great additions. They have a very good offensive line. They'll have some, NFL quality individuals, but chemistry is going to be important. Pedigree is going to be important there. Lions are going to do what they do, man. They're a phenomenal team, and they've only gotten stronger. So has 7-point spread. Cody's been quietly collecting talent down in the DMV like Infinity Stones and hasn't been saying anything about it. But that 7-point spread PME situation.
Yeah.
You see Tivis from the Bullets is on their team too.
I did see Tivis ended up on that roster. Yeah. That's big. I'm looking forward to seeing 7-point. And 7-point, they are the only DMV team to have actually even seen the North since Nationals.
Right.
They went up there for Corona too.
They did.
I think they finished with a plus margin at the end, a +8.
I believe they beat the Bulldogs and lost to the Gladiators. They were literally running on the field as before their first game. But Cody is he's a very good GM. I don't think outside of the DMV he gets enough recognition for the teams he puts together. They'll have Parker on their team. James Parker, one of the dirtiest players ever in flag football, is now a 7-point spreader. So that team's got a little grittier, a little grimier, but we'll see. DO gives brings a nice element to them, but I can't say never. They beat me in a very important game, but my win-loss record versus 7-point spread is pretty favorable. So I'm not worried about those kids.
Looking at that schedule real quick, you got, as mentioned, High Rollers, of course, on Friday.
Yep.
And then Saturday, you guys have, I keep overlooking it, Alliance first at 4:45, and then 148 Outlaws at 6 o'clock. What are you expecting going into these games?
I mean, what else? Punishers versus everyone. We're gonna dominate that whole shit. That's what we coming to do. Out the gate, like listen, the way we did the draft, you had to choose your bracket. I chose this bracket. I wanted to play the Rollers, right? Matt Bailey was quarterback at second gen. They beat us last year in the semifinals. They talked shit all year, which they earned the right to do. So of course, as a competitor, I want to see him again. I want to see the second gen guys again. Part of the Rollers, the Laney's guys, ever since BC, we've always had a strong rivalry, a very competitive game every time we played, no matter what jersey we had on. So I want to see those guys as well. But I'm not coming to lose. Punisher's not coming to lose. We're gonna play our ball. I fully expect us to be 3-0 heading into Sunday, and then we hit the reset button come Sunday.
I like it. I feel like you guys are going to come out there firing. You definitely showed out in Corona 2 to start out. Hard to tell how the tournament could have finished. You all were looking dominant in that one too. Hey. And even then, I go back to last year. Right. There was a moment of silence when you guys stomped Strong Island in that quarter.
Oh, baby. Listen, Butte is my guy. He's one of my brothers. I respect him. But, the Bulldogs made us change our game plan a little bit. And it made us stronger in a sense. We had to look at what our strengths were and get a little unorthodox. So we started Jarrett and Harry at wide receiver and put them out, out there. And we ran that gladiator stack screen for probably 85-90% of the game, just to control. We wanted to control the game. We wanted to make it a physical game. We wanted to limit their possessions on offense, because Brian's very crafty. He's gotten tremendously. He's improved every game he's played. When you look at when he first came on to now, and they have a very explosive offense. So you don't want to give them too many opportunities. So that game kind of, set the tone. Then when we got to the second gen game, Pomo kind of went away from the game plan and got all Hollywood. We call him promo. He wanted to prove he was a quarterback instead of just sticking to the game plan. And, it kind of went left there. But yeah, that it's always a good game against the Bulldogs, man. They're a tough team. And, Butte's probably the best GM on the circuit right now.
Yeah. And they were doing hella work prior to Nationals last year. The resume they turned in 2019 was just absolutely impressive.
Yeah. Listen, we lost to them in the championship game 2 years ago. That hurt. But, this year, Friday night, I'm just coming to collect 10,000. I got to give 5,000 to my man Butte. We on the same side come Friday night. We like to wear all this Nike stuff. So, Mike Frosca gonna contribute to the Punisher merchandise fund when it's all said and done. We gonna put some nice shit on. We'll give him a hoodie. We'll give Mike Frosca a hoodie since he's gonna sponsor. Now, Frosca's a good guy, man. It's all fun, man. It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna kick
that to it. That's gonna be a great game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Everything's lining up well. Everyone's coming to play. When you look at the rosters, all the rosters are strong. It's really hard to pick which 5 teams are not going to make Sunday. I think there's going to be some upsets and disappointments.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's hard to predict it. That's something where that's why I'm glad we're not doing predictions till next week. I can wait another week to look at this and think about it a little longer.
Right.
Especially as the rosters keep coming out and I keep seeing names popping up.
Right. Now, are you going to predict the entire tournament round for round? How are you going to do this?
So what we're thinking is what I'm thinking so far is we're going to predict Friday and Saturday and see how everybody who predicts who misses, who makes it, etc.
Right.
And then Saturday night we'll do another show where we predict Sunday.
Okay.
So that way it'll be 2 separate predictions. One for how you think pool play goes and the other for how you think Money Day goes. Now, if somebody has 100% bracket, that would be impressive.
I mean, is there an incentive for a 100% bracket? Do they get like a TBT shirt or something like that?
We can do a promotion.
Howdy.
Yeah, we'll do a promotion.
I think that would be dope, man. Get a TBT shirt or a hat or something for a 100% bracket. I think it's going to be hard to predict the brackets 100%. It's going to be very hard.
Very. I would like to see if there was a way we could do like a bracket challenge, kind of like in March Madness on an app or something. That'd be great.
I mean, if we could get to that point, it would be cool. I know Sev tried to do something before where, he did something with the brackets. I don't know how successful it was, but, it's always interesting to see, what people think. And there's a lot of bias involved, but, it's fun. It's fun, man.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. I'm looking forward to it all. When you coming in?
I come in Thursday. I'm probably going to change my flight to get in a little earlier now. But Thursday we come in. We'll be there till Monday. It is just straight business from the time we land. How about yourself when you get in?
I'm getting in Wednesday. I'm going to be staying for about a week with a friend of mine.
Nice, man. Well, you're always welcome to come hang with us. And anytime you want, come check the guys out and everything. I know I was with Jarrett earlier when you hit him up. So, the guys always respect you and they love watching what you do. Your commentary is probably one of the best on the live feeds. It's been that way for a while, man. You come a long way, Joey V.
Thank you, man. It's been a wild ride in this flag football journey, I'll tell you.
I listen, it has. Flag football is only going to grow. It's getting bigger. We're getting more people involved. XFFL, it seems like they're contributing a lot. They're going to probably have a lot of impact and influence on the scene, via some teams shortly. And I think the more new talent that comes into flag and the more people that get involved and more teams that pop up and, other areas start to grow, it's only going to get bigger and more interesting, man. And honestly, I think a big part of that is guys like yourself, Isaiah, Chop Shop guys, Deuce Dutch, Pat, Eddie, Uresco, all these guys are putting out content. It's really what's been kind of the vehicle to help this thing grow. Even Jaya, I'll give her respect. She was one of the first to go live and bring someone on. So it's come a long way since from the last 4 or 5 years or so. But you guys are killing it right now, man. You guys done took this shit and turned it upside down, bro.
It's been the plan, man. That's been all in the works the last couple of years. Like, it was just all a slow build to get here at this point.
Right.
We started out
slow and steady wins the race, bro.
It started out as just something I did just as a hobby. I would just go over to our local league, film games live, and then we started the show. And then I said, why don't we just start traveling? And now here we are.
How long you been doing this now?
I first started live streaming was May 2017 was my first one.
What you drinking over there, man?
Miller High Life. It's a traditional Washington County beverage.
We gotta get you some Hennessy over there one day, Joey. I want you to have a bottle of Henny over there one day. We gotta get you a bottle of Henny one day, man.
I am gonna get you some.
Is the Henny still here from that time?
You have very little bit.
Very little bit left of that. That's I think Laurie gave it to me as a gift.
Oh, J-Dub.
Was it J-Dub? I can't remember anymore.
I know one thing I would like, for me personally, I would like for all of us, yourself, Deuce, Dimitri, anybody that Isaiah, if he's down there, anyone that there you go. That's go ahead, take a shot of that, Joey.
Oh, it's out the freezer and everything.
Fresh out.
Frosted. Yeah. All right. I knew you had it in you. I'm not surprised. But, I think it'd be dope if we all get together, take a picture, down at Nationals. It'd be really cool, man. We got to, start collaborating more and bouncing ideas with each other. I forgot to mention Ben, No Shot, Ben Pennington. He was a GOAT with the pictures. Nikki Bernard, I can't forget to, mention Nikki.
Be better mention Nikki. That's your team photographer.
Listen, if I don't mention Nikki, she will be in my messages like threatening to slit my throat and all types of other things. But I got to mention Nikki, man. Ben and Nikki for a while were holding this down dolo, and then all you guys, came into the scene. I see Kate is getting involved now. So, very looking forward to meeting her down in Florida and everything like that. And it's just cool, man. Everybody's contributions are recognized, man. It's what helps, man. It keeps the players engaged,
Yeah. And I feel like the media we got going right now is only going to get bigger and better and stronger.
Right.
Like, this is just the beginning. Like, what we're doing right now is just the start.
Right. I agree with you, man. Like, I think this thing could be so big and it's going to get big. There's some things in the works that are going to be very, very interesting moving forward. I just hope everybody's ready to mobilize when the time comes.
I'm ready. Whenever, give me the word. We'll have the whole team there. TBT ready.
Hell yeah. Listen, I definitely would love it, man. I'm going to send you a Punisher shirt too when we get the next batch coming up. I got to send you some Punishers gear, man.
Hell yeah, man. I'll wear it in the street and we'll hang it up on the wall of jerseys.
There you go. Yeah, display my shit. Word.
Any other words tonight, Eric?
No, listen, I appreciate your time. Thanks for having me on. I was waiting for you to one day say, hey, let's jump on here, but just everybody that's traveling, just be safe. As I said before, be vigilant. Corona is a real thing. If you feel like you got some issues going on or whatever, get tested. If it comes up positive, stay your ass home, or at the very least stay away from me. Because there's a lot of people that could be affected beyond those who are at the field. Just come ready to play, man. Let's have one of the best tournaments we've ever had. Keep it clean, keep it fun, and do your thing, man. Rep your set, and don't go 0-3. Because if you go 0-3, Black Monday is gonna be a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
If you go 0-3, oh man, I don't know, man. Pressure bust pipes, man, and that's for everybody. But I respect what you guys are doing, man. Keep putting on, Four Corners, TBT, everything you guys are doing is super dope, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate the love and support.
Absolutely.
And look forward to seeing you down there at Nationals next Friday when the Punishers take on the Rollers, 6 p.m.
Yes, sir.
5.
Yes, sir. Oh, side bets. All side bets will be entertained. All side bets will be entertained. Whatever you want to bet, we could bet player props. You want to bet the over-under on Matt Bailey touchdowns, completions, all of that. How many times Big Red gonna jump off sides? We taking all bets Friday night.
All right. I like it. This is gonna be a fun one.
All right, fellas. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Eric.
Have a good night.
You too. Eric joining us. Let me see if I can get this other guy on. He's been waiting in the waiting room for about half an hour. Because I wasn't sure if Eric saw my message.
It'd be like that sometimes.
And joining us now, if we can get him, I see him. Can he hear us is the question. Can we hear him?
Yo, what's up?
We got him on.
There he is.
The winner of the 2018 B Bracket National Championship with the Maryland Bullets himself, Kevin Clancy. Kevin, welcome to the show.
My man.
What's going on? That shit feels ages ago, man.
It does. 2018, 3 years now, man. It's been a hell of a journey since then.
It is. As everybody knows, A is a little different. So that's the goal. Try to get A chip.
Yeah, Clancy's going to give himself an A chip.
Going for that. The last couple of years, Bullets, they've made a push. But this year, Clancy, there's no Maryland Bullets in Nationals.
Mudgett made the decision since we haven't played 9-man like most people, but at least some people played a little bit. Let's really focus on 4 and 5-man this year. So he's making a smart move, not spending his money. Feels that we have a good chance in 4 and 5. So that's where he's putting his money this year, and it's all good. I love the game, so I'm gonna play with a different team for 9-man.
And what team is that, Kevin Clancy? Because the rosters are out. People already know. Cat's out of the bag. There's a reason I hit you up.
Aftermath. And it was no secret. I know a bunch of those dudes on that team. Mike Kunkel played against, known for a long time since we were originally with Mudgett in the Westminster League long time ago. And like I said, I know a lot of dudes on those teams, so figured play for somebody. So decided to play with them.
I like it. I like it a lot of familiarity. I think it brings a whole nother dimension to that Aftermath offense. Aftermath, they struggled last year at Nationals. It was not a very good showing, 0-3 overall, including a 34-0 loss to the Lions in a game that just was never close. But however, Aftermath this year, they showed potential. They got to the Clash of York Championship. They got to the OMFFL Championship, but they fell short both times. With Clancy, though, I feel like it adds a whole other dimension to that offense. We've seen the work firsthand, Ross. Oh, what Kevin Clancy could do.
Oh, yeah. My guy.
Ross.
What's up?
No, but they got a ton of dudes, ton of athletes. Ryan that's played with us. Fortunately, he hurt himself a month or so ago, so he's not gonna be ready to go. But like I said, in the Baltimore, whatever the other league they're playing in, Owens Mills, good showing. And then Kunkel and Dave, both the guys that run the team, they've added some pieces, so we should have a good team. Tough ass bracket. I think we're in probably the toughest pool. The third pool is probably the deepest, but having to play main event and SI is extremely tough. You know that.
Yeah. And, you certainly have a lot of familiarity with Main Event. Going back to the games you had with them back in 2019, both in Ocean City and in Baltimore as well.
I remember that too.
I remember the Baltimore one. I was there for both of them.
You love bringing that one up, Joey.
I mean, I
No,
could
but,
say how many interceptions you threw in both the games, but
it happens. I'm Herbert. But I'm 2-2 against them, so I got a good feel of what they're going to bring. But I mean, with Mike at quarterback and how many athletes they have, it's like I said, it's tough. But so we don't have to worry about them until Saturday. We got Texas on Friday. Played them actually the last 2 years in Florida. We played Texas boys 2 years ago, beat them. I think they might have been the Texas boys last year or had a different name.
I'm not sure 100% if they're the same. I'm guessing they are, and it's just a name change, but
I think they are. I don't know about the team this year because I know I think his name is Jay Tony's running it, and I know he was with, I want to say, Glads last year.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're going to have, but had success last 2 years against Texas. So we'll see. We got to worry about that one before we even get a chance to see Main Event in SI.
Yeah, and in a way, it's a nice little appetizer before the main course. You guys will be having double the meal with Main Event and SI. Be a lot to handle. I look forward to seeing how you guys come out, though. Represent the DMV proud. Would like to see you guys come out there, get a couple wins, and show off at Nationals. But it's going to be tough. It is a very tough bracket to play in. Main Event, SI. Who knows what Texas has for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got together after math last week, and they got a ton of dudes. Just like we had them bullets, so I'm excited. Haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen our whole roster because some of the guys weren't there, and some of the other guys from out of state. But from on paper, we're gonna have a competitive team, just like Eric said last time. It's tough to see who's going to be out. There's a good idea of who's going to be in, especially like the top 4 or 5. But it's just those 5 aren't going to make it to Sunday, so it's all going to depend on what happens in bracket play.
And I look forward to seeing how this bracket plays out, and of course how Aftermath does when they take on Texas, Main Event, and the Strong Island Bulldogs. Whew. You ready, Clancy?
Always. You know that.
We look forward to seeing how you do, man. Shout out from Ross and I. We'll see you down at Nationals when you guys play. I think you said Prime first on Friday, I do believe, correct?
Yeah, I want to say 6. I'm not sure. I know we play Texas Friday and then the other 2 Saturday.
Gotcha. All right, Clancy. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Any other words?
Not at all. I'm excited for the trip, and I'll see y'all down there. Bang, bang.
All right, man. We'll see you then.
Later, man.
Later. Kevin Clancy joining us. And let's see if we can get this next one in. Joining us now is somebody else who is displaced this year at Nationals from their normal squad. As mentioned, Clancy with the Bullets not playing this year. He'll be on Aftermath. And if we can get it to connect, here we go. So that's connecting. Do we got you on, Q?
I'm here.
We got you. And joining us now is somebody else, a longtime friend of Blunt Talks, albeit I still haven't forgiven you for York yet. All things aside, but I'll dig the Lakers hat. I dig the Lakers hat.
Appreciate you, Doug.
Appreciate you, man. Is Quaidar Murphy of 7 Point Spread, who, as his hoodie shows, normally you're with Playmakers Elite. And a lot of people have been wondering what has happened with PME. Not a lot of people have heard much. I know what happened. Tell the audience.
What's your version of it?
I heard it was COVID related.
Maffle
had the outbreak from the one person who tested positive, and then you guys withdrew about a couple days later. That's what I was told.
Yeah, so that's partially true, man. Like we had our season set, our schedule and all that. We're obviously going back and forth in the group chats and all that. We played this day, yada yada. And then somebody popped positive for COVID, and we got a message, who's in, who's out. A bunch of guys said, now I got a family, myself included, I don't really want to play so soon. So a lot of people withdrew, and then it got to the point where we weren't fielding enough guys, and we ultimately knew that we wouldn't be able to field our best team. So we withdrew, and everybody went their respective directions. So like I said, that's part of it. That's at least the reason why we're not playing in league play, or why we didn't play in league play.
Gotcha. This year, though, you and your quarterback Do are heading over to 7 Point, which I'm curious to see how you guys come out and play. Like, this is going to be interesting. Like, to think a year ago, you all in 7 Point were facing off at Nationals. In fact, that was the last time I believe PME played on the circuit, was against Nationals. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah.
No, it was that
yeah, that was the last time we played like with our full team. Again, I think we tried to put something together in league play. I missed the first couple of weeks, but the last time we played as like our true PME squad was when we got our asses whooped by 7 Point in Nationals last year.
Damn, man.
Yeah, shit happens, man. You know how that shit go.
Have you guys had much chance to work out with each other yet? Like, have you guys ever got any practices in, any scrimmages?
Nah, not too many. I mean, I know that everyone has their own like respective schedules. We all work out on our own and stuff. Our quarterback in particular, I mean, he's around football probably a little too much. So he's always kind of ready to go just from warming up his arm and, kind of being around the game, studying plays, yada, yada, because he has like his youth organizations and stuff. And I know that a bunch of our guys and 7 Point guys are on or part of PME coaching staffs in some way, shape, or form. So we're always around the game, not necessarily with each other, but I think that we should be fine. On offense, we should be fine. I'm not exactly sure what the defense looks like. I know that it should be primarily 7 Point. And those guys have played together for years, so we should be okay. And then Dio, I mean, he should be able to make the adjustments on the fly. From my understanding, we have pretty dope receivers, not even including myself. They already have a stacked receiving core. So input Dio, man, his knowledge of the game and kind of how he calls his plays, how he runs his huddle, I think that would be all right.
I think so too. I'm really looking forward to seeing how you guys come out there and perform. Looking at the schedule for what 7 Point has in store, your first game, 4:45, right off the gate. You have the Scorpions, the defending B champions. You know what's coming into this matchup against the Scorpions, who I pretty sure they're going to come fully loaded for this one. They've had a really good year playing so far.
I like the Scorpions, man. I know that they be running shit in the Baltimore League. I think I've only played them myself maybe once or twice when we did like the cross league play, Maffle against FFL. I don't know what the score was. I know that PME won, but I like the Scorpion squad. I mean, Proctor's dope. I think he's older. I haven't even really been around Flag that much. So just the names that I hear and the people that I see play over the past couple of years or so, I just obviously pick up on them. But Proctor's dope, man. He's a good quarterback, a seasoned veteran that obviously knows his team, knows the game. Not exactly sure how they're going to adjust to A or, who has played A or not, but just based on the one game that I've played against them and the games that I've seen them in, they should be solid. At the end of the day, no matter if they were B last year, B yesterday, whatever, I never really underestimated a team. So I'm going to play them like I would play anybody else.
100%, man. 100%. You cannot sleep on the Scorpions. Proctor and company have way too much experience.
Travis keep ducking my bet too.
One bracket.
Every time Travis mentioned something about a bet, I give him like the side eyes, pause, but he never responds to my bet. So if he watching, then I'll meet you at the 50 if Cody won't.
Your other game on the schedule, you got Gladiators on Saturday, Nice little reunion with your old
Yeah, man.
mates,
The Glads,
and AJ Reynolds from the Adrenaline Rush days.
yeah, I think I've only played against the Glads one time ever in my life. Like this would be my fourth national, surprisingly. Like I didn't start playing flag until like 2015. My first time ever playing in a 9-man game was spring of 2017. So I'm
Was that when
considered fairly new, but yeah. So TJ Williams is actually the one that like put me onto flag because TMT was in the Hagerstown League.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was like, "Yo, come on, you know, I think I played in the Hagerstown tournament in
You did.
2016
You played
too.
the
Yeah,
You and me were on that TMT squad in
word.
2016.
Yeah, I honestly at that point, man, I was not familiar with like circuit tournaments, none of that. TJ was just like, "Yo, I got a team. We play at this time. Show up." So that kind of is how it went down. But yeah, man, I got introduced to 9-man officially with TMT back in 2017, and then we moved from TMT to, I think we stayed TMT the next season, and then Boone became our quarterback. But I was already kind of familiar with Boone playing against him in 8-man in Winchester. And then he was our quarterback for however many seasons. But oddly enough, at this point, I've probably played with DO more than Boone at this point.
Your impressions having worked with both of them, like how different is it going from both one guy to the other?
I think that's a difficult question, man. I'm not gonna throw one under the bus or anything along those lines. I think that they have different styles. I think that because Dio again is around the game so much with coaching his youth organization and his high school football team, he always has the opportunity to get better, even if it's not specific to PME or specific to 7-point spread or whatever team that we're going to be playing on that weekend. He kind of always has the opportunity to, revamp his knowledge and learn additional stuff. I think that Dio probably holds me a little more accountable, just in terms of like drop passes or crisp routes or anything along those lines. But Boone was dope. Boone was a solid friend of mine and a proven winner in 8-man, and then he kind of transitioned to 9-man. I think that as an 8-man quarterback, Boone is awesome. But where he struggled the most is the fact that we brought a lot of 8-man guys to 9-man. So we didn't have like official offensive linemen to block official defensive linemen. Because an 8-man, O-linemen can kind of go out, they can catch passes, they can not block, they can block, whatever. So I think that Boone he's kind of had a tough draw over the last couple of years because he hasn't really had a line so that he can stand back there and pass. But I know that when he does get the line, assuming that he's going to get it with the Glads, I think that he'll be good, man. Because again, he's a solid player, proven winner in 8-man, and now that he'll have the guys up front to block for him, I think that he's going to have a solid showing with the Glads.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that team goes. We'll actually have Chris Boone on right after UQ.
Word.
We'll get his thoughts on the matchup. And at 7-point, you guys will wrap up your night with the Lions at 7:15.
Yeah, I think that'll be all right, man. Like I know the Lions because I played against them a time or two, but to be honest, I don't really pay attention to any of the teams that we're playing. Like I know obviously popular names, popular teams, popular owners, whatever, but I don't really like pay attention too much to that shit, man. I really just kind of show up. I don't talk much to anybody with the exception of my teammates or people that I know from other teams. And then I just play ball. So Lions are a solid squad from what I've seen and what I've heard, but I don't really have too much to say about them or even the Glads really. Like, I mean, fuck it. I don't really care who we're playing. I just kind of line up and play.
I like the mindset. I like it.
Word.
No matter who the opponent is, just go out.
Exactly, man. If they don't have on the same color jersey as me, then kind of is what it is, man. Fuck them. And then we shake hands and we could drink or whatever after the game, but while we playing, we try and win.
I like it. I like it.
Word.
Q's locked in, man. I can tell.
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I've been trying to get back right.
Ready to go.
Trying to get my win back right and all that. Pause. But yeah, man, just trying to stay in decent shape, decent football shape, because we haven't really played that much this year and all that stuff. But Definitely looking forward to playing with my guys, specifically Dio and Tim and Ricky maybe and the Andersons. I really just kind of have like a blind loyalty to Dio and everybody else that I name. And at the end of the day, they show me love off the football field. So that's not really that's really all that I could ask for at the end of the day. So if Dio says that we're playing here, then it's kind of fuck it. Here's where we're playing. Pack your shit. We out. So I'm looking forward to it. I always feel like we got a chance to win, and 7 points already a solid squad, man. Cody knows what he's doing. He knows the game. He's been around well. He's a national champion himself. So I think to pair Cody and Dio together, who are already solid friends, I think that we have a solid shot to make some noise.
I like it. The two Virginia teams coming together is pretty big.
Word,
really
yeah.
Big. Yeah.
We had a couple pieces, and they had a couple pieces, and we were really just kind of doing a plug and play, man. Like, okay, we're going to take our quarterback, a couple of his receivers, Tim plays DB, a couple of our linemen, a couple of our defensive linemen, and hopefully we can come together and become the Megazord for all my old heads. That's a Power Rangers reference, but hopefully we come together and we make something happen. I'm personally tired of losing at nationals. My first nationals ever, we got dealt main event twice, and they beat the shit out of us. And then the next two, I didn't even make it to Sunday, the next one. And then last year we went 1-3 or something like that. We played 4 games, 1-3. So this year I'm trying to at least come out that bitch with a winning record, but the goal is to win.
Winning is the only thing, man. Especially when you go all the way to Florida, you gotta win.
Exactly, man. I'm risking COVID. I'm getting on a plane. Like, my girl want me to quarantine when I get back, all types of shit. So I'm not trying to go down there to lose.
Make the most of it, man. Tomorrow's never guaranteed in the world of flag football. This is a big
man, or any world for that matter. So I feel you. I appreciate you having me on for sure, bro. I don't.
Appreciate you, man.
Hell yeah, I'll see you down there.
Going back to the days of Washington County.
Word, man. I might pop out there. It's just far as fuck from my house. So Maffle is home for now, or if Dio and Co decide to pack their shit and go somewhere else, then I'll make it work.
Hey, I'm just happy you came to Winter Chiller last year. That was awesome.
Word. Yeah, I mean, I'm good for a pop out if it's a random weekend, but that like every weekend driving an hour and a half, hour 45 shit, couldn't do it no more, Joey B.
No, I don't blame you one bit. Trust me, I got a 3-hour drive on Saturday that I'm not ready for. But it's going to be worth it. We'll have coverage on Saturday. Looking forward to that. But we're looking forward to seeing how you and 7 Point Spread do next weekend. Nationals kickoff at about, I think it's 4:45. You guys take on.
Yeah, we play against the the Scorpions at 4:45.
Yeah, 7 Point Scorpions. What a good game.
I agree, man. I agree.
Man, this is the reward we get for waiting all year for an actual tournament that we can go to and see like everybody we normally see.
I agree, man. I agree. I think that the shit's gonna be dope, man. I'm gonna definitely be out there repping for the home squads, even though the B games are early as fuck. I'll be out there to watch Rampage, AFN play earlier in the day, and then enjoy some A games too before our game at 4:45.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Look forward to seeing you there on the field next weekend.
For you too, bro.
Thank you, Q. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Anything else you want to add before you go?
Nah, man, I'm not really a man of too many words. So again, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you having me on. I'll see you next weekend.
We'll see you next week, Q. Thank you.
All right, bro. Later.
Q Murphy joining us. And real quickly, we'll get in our next guest. Joining us now, says his iPhone is connecting and he can't hear me yet. We'll give it a second, but good to hear from Q, man. Always a longtime favorite of the show. He was an OG back when the original show Uncut, way back in the day. And joining us now, you can't actually see him, but He is Q's former quarterback from the Adrenaline Rush TNT days, Mr. Chris Boone.
What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much. Is it giving you an option to turn your video on? 'Cause we can't see you, man.
Let's see.
I think it's his first time because he just downloaded Zoom today. He told me.
Yeah, it's definitely my first time. I don't know how to go to the damn. I just downloaded this shit last night.
All good, Boone. All good.
All right, hold on. Start video. Allow access camera. I don't know, man. Where the hell would it be at?
Where you just
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm old, man. You know what I mean? I don't know this new technology shit. I'm just now figuring it out.
whoop your ass with some Sega Genesis stuff.
Yeah, that I'll be straight on that. Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how to do it. Fuck it.
All good, Boone. All good. We'll roll with it.
TJ Williams, that's the most fastest.
Yeah, just look at Joey's face. Y'all good.
Oh man. Anyways, anywho, Boone. Welcome to the show. First and foremost, it's been you've gotten some 9-man action in this year for the most part, but you'll be teaming with Gladiators for the very first time at the Nationals tournament. Your thoughts on your new teammates, man? What exactly happened? How did this come about?
Well, we at Showtime, ever since with that Corona shit went on, I just had a lot of guys that started dropping, and pretty much all of them was O and D line guys, So, I didn't want to go back down there again with all skill guys, So, we obviously as ADR, we've done that before. It's basically what Q said. I mean, we took basically some 8-man guys and just transformed into 9-man. So, but what we was able to do from our first year at Nationals, went 0-3, and then next year we won a game. We beat DO, and I think and Q and them, I think they was all on the Grammys. DO went to Grammys, and then to last year winning 2 games and making it into Sunday. So for us to take a bunch of 6-man and 8-man guys and transform into the A division and 9-man, I thought we did pretty well for just coming in.
Yeah, and honestly, every year I felt like ADR got better at Nationals. I mean, you take a look at last year, that was the best performance by far ADR had. They came out, beat Gladiators on day 1, destroyed Anarchy on day 2. That was Anarchy that game was. And then, unfortunately for you guys, you ran into a wall with Punishers. I think that was the first time you ever played Punishers, actually.
Yeah, they put it on us. We went down there. We only had 3 linemen, and that was the back-to-back for a double hitter. So we had 3 linemen. They were playing special teams, kickoffs, punts. I mean, they didn't leave the field. So we started that second game of the Punishers, and they was like, man, we're wore out, man. And so we kind of knew going in, and that was going to be a rough night. We put them guys in a bad spot of not having enough players. They took a beat, man. They gave us everything that they had, so I appreciate those guys.
Yeah, they did hell of work. And you guys, like I said, you guys had a good performance on day 3. You fell to Gladiators, but that game was only 14-6 with a few minutes to go. That was still a relatively close game. You guys played
right
hard. I really like the work you all put in last year, and I really look forward to seeing what you could do this year on a Gladiator squad that always has that potential to go all the way. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes with some of your Showtime guys and what Johnny has with the Gladiators.
Right, no, definitely Johnny. Johnny's a hell of a dude, man, and he hit me up. I guess he was kind of shorthanded too. And then the fact that we wasn't able to put a team together, he kept in contact with me through the whole process, and we ended up getting something done. I'm bringing my 5-man guys that normally play with me. We're going to come down and rock with him for 9. So it worked out pretty good. So I'll have at least a couple of Showtime guys that I'll be familiar with. His guys, they've been around the game for a long time. So being able to communicate and relate football-wise shouldn't be a real issue, because all those guys have been around the game, and they can help us along too. So it was a win-win for both of us.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how you guys gel. And honestly, though, the schedule, I got to say, you guys got some interesting opponents off the gate.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Takeover to start, which I think is the first time you have played Takeover.
Yeah, I'm just now seeing it. I got their things on YouTube. I've only seen 2 games of theirs. They looked, to be an all-out rush forward, play man across the board type team. So that's definitely something I like to see. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I don't know much about them. I've only seen them 2 game films, and they might have played defense 8 possessions in 2 games. So didn't get to see a whole lot on them, but hopefully I've seen enough. But I believe they play before me at like 3:30. So
yeah, they take on the Lions actually at about 3:30. They'll be playing. They have a break in between games. After that, you guys will have the Scorpions. You faced off against Greg Proctor before. In fact, you remember that, Ross.
Yeah.
Way back in Hagerstown, twice in 2018, you faced off against them. Your impressions facing off against the Scorpions going into this battle?
Oh, it's going to be good. Like I said, I've seen them play a bunch of times, and they've seen me play a bunch of times. So even though we haven't played each other a lot, we have been at the same tournaments, especially a bunch at York and things like that. So they've seen me play. I've seen them play. So you will be familiar with each other, I would think. I'm sure they're going to be good, but I like our chances.
Yeah, you guys are going to definitely have a good shot at winning. And like I said, it's an interesting schedule. You got Takeover, Scorpions, and of course, a team you're very familiar with, Chris Boone.
Yeah.
They just
definitely
everywhere you go.
I don't get away from them guys, man. We play each other all year long in every damn style, it seems like. Hell, I even had a chance to play with Cody this year in 8-man. We was on the same team. So me and Cody, we go back 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, however long. Might even be longer than that, playing against those guys. So I pretty much know every player on their team. And they've all played with me, or I played with them, or vice versa at some point. So there's, that's like a hometown game right there.
I think that's going to be a good one. I think the whole schedule you guys got, you have a lot of potentially really good games going on. I think Gladiators could be one of the more entertaining teams to watch next weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna be fun, man. We got I'm bringing a good group with me, and like I said, pretty much everything that we've kind of been missing as ADR Gladiators really have. They have an O-line, a D-line, stuff like that with depth. That's what I should say. They have what ADR and Showtime didn't have, and that's depth at the O-line and D-line. I mean, they're they'll be loaded up there. So that's basically, it was a perfect match for us.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that marriage works out next weekend, as the Gladiators will kick off 6 o'clock against Takeover, and then 7:15 against the Scorpions. And then the next night they'll be taking on 7-point spread. Whoa, what a weekend coming up. Anything else you want to add tonight, Chris? I think we lost him.
There you go. We can't see him, so we're going.
He's gone.
There you go.
We lost him.
See you, Boo.
All right, Boone. See you in Florida.
Good talking to you.
All right.
See you down. Right.
Chris Boone joining us and leaving us. Happens. Anyways, anyhow, anywho.
I was gonna say you got to change the guest star. I was gonna tell you to put Chris Boone.
I didn't pin Boone's name.
I was gonna
Now
tell
I
you-
got to change it because we got another guest star on the line.
I was gonna tell you to put
Joining us now from Main Event, the GOAT himself, Mike D. Mike, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. What's with the Green Bay hat? I thought you were an Eagles fan.
I don't know, man. I guess I'm a front runner.
You got to win some way, somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, Mike, welcome to the show. Glad to have you on. Main Event, we talked a few weeks ago, so we'll catch up to what's going on now at Nationals. Now you know your opponents, and let me tell you, what a schedule for Main Event. You guys are going to be busy next weekend, beginning with the game with the Strong Island Bulldogs. Texas Prime first, 4:45 kickoff. That game will be. Your impressions going up against this Texas team?
Yeah, I don't know much about them. Obviously, I've tried to reach out to people who would know who they are. I don't know who their quarterback is. Obviously, they got Jay Toney, who's going to be a good D lineman. We're expecting they'll have a lot of speed and stuff. But we got speed and we got size, and as long as I don't screw it up, we'll be all good.
100%, man. I know you got this. I see how you're going out this year. Like 2020, arguably was the year of Mike D when it came to the flag game.
I left this past weekend. I left the championship on the table. We lost to the Goats in 5-man contact. We had the ball. We were up by 1 with less than 40 seconds left, and I freaking threw an interception. And then one play later, Matt Riddick scored on like a 20-yard touchdown. So that kind of sucked.
Dang.
But yeah, I can't wait for next weekend. Can't get here soon enough, man. I can't wait to get out of it. It's freezing up here. It's cold. Even though it's not gonna be that warm in Florida, it's gonna be warmer than here. Just so excited to get down there and play in 9-man and 5-man and hopefully some 8-man.
So you're going to try to hit 5, 9, and 8 next weekend?
What's that, brother?
So you're going to hit 5, 9, and 8?
Yeah, 5-man contact, 9-man obviously 9-man contact, over 35 and 8-man, and
I'm trying to imagine what 9-man non-contact would look like.
Yeah, it'd be real silly. So yeah, but yeah, obviously we got the big matchup with the Bulldogs next Friday night. Seems like it's a common thing now. We always got to play them. And then our third game against Aftermath, I see they got Kevin Clancy, who's a very underrated quarterback on the 9-man circuit. He's very talented. So we got a good draw.
It's a really good draw, and I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to that Strong Island game Saturday night. Friday night. Sorry, I'm used to last year's game was Saturday. Always a classic between you two.
It really is. I think the last 5 or 6 games we played with them have been decided by 3 points or less.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I was there for the Baltimore game, and I was there for the one at Worlds, and both of those games just blew me away.
Yeah.
Like, it was some great flag football action between the two of you.
Yeah, it's always going to come down to, if I don't turn the ball over, we might actually win by a touchdown or more. But I always, tend, with my Green Bay hat on, tend to be like Brett Favre and throw the ball to the other team. So, I think the 9-man field is loaded. You got like the 6 or 7 top heavy teams that are really loaded up. And then there's no easy team. There's no cakewalks. Everybody should be competitive. It's going to be tough to get those 8 teams in. And then every game on Sunday is going to be an absolute war. So
I
hopefully we're staying again.
Yeah, I 100% agree, dude. This is going to be an awesome tournament.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we've been waiting for all year.
100%.
Like something
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, the build-up's been crazy. I was talking to somebody today, and I was like, I've done more traveling now. He's like, have you won it all? I was like, yeah, but we haven't played as 9-man. It's all 8-man or 5-man or whatever. It's not, we've been canceled. And the only 9-man tournament it's been is the one we won with the Punishers, right?
Yeah. I know we've only had 2 that finished. We had the Corona 1, and we had the Clash of York, which
Oh, that's right. That's right.
V/PA tournament.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say Corona was more of an A tournament because of the caliber of teams there, and I would say
Right.
Clash of York was a B tournament.
Gotcha.
So at the very least, we've had one of each kind of division.
Yeah, it's crazy. In a whole year, we only had one tournament. It sucks. So everybody's chomping at the bit. Everybody thinks they got a chance to win. I know every team is loaded up, and and there's not one team I think that's like way better than everybody. I really think there's like 4 really dominant teams, and then 4 or 5 teams right below that, and then the last 4. But there's no fucking, Eagles or, an NFC East team, the Cowboys, Eagles, whoever you want to choose. There's no shitty teams in 9-man A. So.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to really help this year. I mean, you can look at the numbers and say 13's not a lot, but it's like I'd rather have a small number of teams that are great than have a large quantity of teams where you don't know what you're getting.
100%. And like, everybody wants to say, well, the Scorpions were in B. Proctor's been in these battles for the last 10 years. He knows what to expect. He knows what to do. And the thing they got over everybody else is they play together. They got that chemistry. Whereas us as main event, shit, I haven't seen some of my guys since maybe last Nationals. So that's total disadvantage for us. Whereas they get, they know each other, but it is, it's like riding a bike. Once we get back out there, we get the groove. I only run 4 or 5 places as it is. So, I'm just excited. Next Thursday, can't get here soon enough.
I 100% agree, dude. I cannot wait to get down there. Like,
Yep.
I'm in that. It's like playing Madden. You want to sim to the end. Let's just get there right now.
Exactly, man. Give me a Miller Lite and give me a football. Put some flags on. Let's rock.
We'll have plenty of Miller down there. TBT will be
Yes.
well supplied in Miller Lite. We got you covered, Mike.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you, man. Anything
Hell
else
yeah.
you want to add tonight?
No, I'm good. Everybody safe travels, and can't wait till next Friday morning. I wish this freaking UFFL would give us our damn schedule for 5-man and shit.
Don't get me started. I was supposed to do a 5-man show on Monday night, but I had to postpone it because I didn't know how I could talk about it without a schedule.
Yeah, Joey, that shit's loaded too, bro. That is loaded too.
Dude, I have seen that D1 is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah. Every 5-man's loaded, 8-man's loaded, and 9-man's loaded.
yeah, this is an absolutely loaded tournament overall between all the styles. Like, this is it. This is the Super Bowl of flag football by far. Like, you have the
Easily.
best of the best coming to these tournaments in Orlando and Davenport.
Yeah.
And I think personally, just me speaking, I think the best talent by far is in Orlando this year.
Well, definitely the contact. Yeah, I mean the only good contact team is not there is Bex +1. They went to Panama City, but yeah, all the best contact teams are definitely in Orlando. And we'll all be ready to bang out next week. And like I said, hopefully I'm bringing home 2 trophies.
We look forward to seeing you out there in the field, Mike. I'll tell you, I really hope that game with Strong Island, I'm really hoping to see Birdman back on the sideline just to see one more Mike D Birdman matchup.
I have a feeling he might play. Yeah. I've been told he's not going to play and stuff like that. But I know his, when he gets out there and he's going, we're going to be hooting and hollering before the game. His adrenaline's going to be flowing. I'd be surprised if he didn't at least play a series to see how it feels. So
we'll see next Friday night.
Yes, sir.
Strong Island, the last game of the night, the main event. The main event.
So it should be fun, brother.
I look forward to it, man. This is going to be awesome.
Can't wait.
Same. It's going to be great.
All right, man. We good?
We good? If you got nothing else, I got nothing else. We good to go, Mike. I'll see you on the 5-man show next week.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. And have a good weekend. Go Pack, go. Even though we ain't playing this weekend, we'll see whoever next. We're going to beat Tom Brady next weekend. All right.
All right, man.
See you, brother.
See ya. Mike D joining us. And at this time, we have another guest joining us.
Yo.
Welcome to the show, Greg Proctor.
Thank you, JB. Appreciate you having me.
Appreciate having you on, man. Just posted earlier the interview I did with you last year after Nationals, where the Scorpions went out and they won B. Your memories of last year's Nationals?
We won.
Nailed it.
I like it. Let me tell you, Scorpions, if I were to make a power rankings of all the DMV teams,
Right.
Scorpions by far number one. You guys have been on a hell of a run going back to last November when you won OMFFL and Capital Classic. You followed that up with winning at Worlds. You had that thriller with the NTB Wolfpack. Absolute great game. They love you over there in St. Louis, Brock.
Man, I love St. Louis, man. Hey, man, you gotta stop talking all that Nelly stuff, man. You gotta go with like battle rappers out there, man. They like Hitman Holler and Aver. And you gotta get with battle rappers, man.
I can't help it, man. Nelly was my jam back in 5th grade. Country Grammar was my album.
Right.
Oh man. But yeah, Proc, you guys this year have been on a hell of a run. We talked about the stats on Blunt Talk 2 months ago, only allowing 1.5 points per game in the OMFFL, facing by far what was the strongest league in the DMV this year, and perhaps one of, if not the strongest 9-man league overall. That's
right.
Overall roster.
Yeah, man. Kudos to my defense, man. They said to help with Corona and help with people's offense. They wasn't giving up nothing. So
yeah.
You saw, shoot, man. I was only putting up 6 points.
I think you put up, I think it was like 9 is where the number was. And yet, playoff time, you were balling out. You guys were in shutdown mode. You destroyed Venom. You ran through the Renegades, got revenge for what happened at Clash of York. And then I actually just finished editing it today, the Mud Bowl against Aftermath.
Oh man, that was crazy. That was crazy. What you might as well say the hell with the first how we have 12-minute quarter, so the hell with 47 minutes and 40 seconds. It's the last 20 seconds of that game and overtime that really was the truth.
Absolute facts, man. Absolute facts. That was a hell of a game. We'll actually have that out for everybody. I want to say Sunday morning we'll have that released onto the YouTube page. The entire edited game, Scorpions Aftermath, OMFFL Championship. What a battle it was. But what a battle you have coming up. Going back down to Orlando, where last year you went undefeated. You ran the table. Scorpions,
Right.
you guys had a dominant run. You destroyed the Demons, ran through the Renegades. I'm trying to remember who else you beat on day 1 and 2. I think you played. I can't remember who you played.
Riot Squad.
Riot Squad. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I'm not sure who you got in the Sweet 16, but I know you beat Rampage, Ride Out, and NTB Wolfpack on your way to that championship.
Right. Yeah. We started off with Team Petty.
Team Petty, yeah. 7-0 overall last year was the Scorpions. Yeah, tough call.
Yeah.
You hear that 7 number, Ross, and that kind of makes you go, wow.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice run, man. It was definitely a nice run. Long overdue. Long overdue.
And it's going to be a different challenge this year as you head into nationals. Scorpions, bit of a tougher slate, but we know you're going to come ready, Proc. I mean, you played before there was an A and B bracket.
Right.
So you
Right,
know
yeah.
firsthand what to expect out of A competition.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, I would say like 90% of our team knows what to expect from A. Again, we were like no new kid on the block when we came back in 2017. So, I mean, we all came from A ball. I just decided not to play, for 2 years. And then I got the bug back and said, all right, let me come back. But, let's just have fun. Let's go back to B first. And, nobody had a problem. Let's just have fun. Let me get the love back for it. And, eventually we got that long eluded championship for us, because that's how we initially started way back in the day. But yeah, definitely looking forward this year. Definitely looking forward this year. And it seems like we got a pretty decent draw. I like our chances.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the bracket real quick. As mentioned, 7-point spread. We had Q Murphy on there earlier talking about that game.
Yeah. Yeah, good dude, man. Good receiver, too. Really good. Yeah, he coming out the ball. They're going to take an L.
They're going to take an L? Second
take an L.
game, you got Gladiators.
Johnny 6'9" and Aaron Boone. Yeah, they're going to take an L.
Oh, man. It actually is kind of funny. The first Scorpions game I did was against Gladiators at Charm City last year, or not last year, but 2019.
Yeah.
Battle between you all.
Yeah, that was a nice battle. Yeah, they had Bailey out there, but they also had Johnny 6'9" out there playing guard. We should have punished his ass, but he better not show up again on that O-line. I love him. He's my man, 50 grand. I love him to death, but he gonna feel it that day.
Looking ahead, final game, Takeover. Have you ever even played Takeover?
Haven't played against them. Haven't played against those guys. I have seen them play an awful lot, though. Yeah. Look forward to it. Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well, man.
We're still gonna win, though.
You want to go with 6-0 next weekend?
Oh man, you know what? Why not? Why not? We don't come there to lose. We're not coming there to lose.
Big facts. Big facts.
Especially with COVID around, man. Yeah, that's real out there.
Yeah, man. No, I think all of us are taking a big risk going down there, but you know what? It's worth the reward.
If you win.
Exactly.
And as long as you don't come back with COVID, you are. That's the key.
Worst case scenario is go 0-3, don't score a single point, and catch COVID.
Exactly. Don't. I can see Cody and them doing that. Nah, just messing with 7, man. Those are my guys, man. Those are my guys. 7 point. Yeah. Can't wait to go against Dio on them, man. Dio always brings his A game, and he always thinking somebody playing cover 3 against him.
That's gonna be a good one. Proctor versus Dio next week. There's a lot of good quarterback matchups.
Yeah, man.
Bracket coming up.
Like Mike D said, man, there's no slouches. No slouches in A-ball, man. Like, you know, every quarterback can play out there. Every quarterback. So you definitely gotta be on your A game, man. And you gotta have ballers out there.
Big facts. Big facts. It's gonna be an awesome tournament. I look forward to it.
Most definitely. Most
1
definitely.
week away, man. 1 week away.
Yeah, man. Just hopefully everybody make it there safe, you know, and you know, yeah, just make it there safe and get home safe. That's the main thing, man. And hopefully while we down there, man, we pay tribute to the guys that we lost in 2020, you know, due to COVID or other reasons, you know, down there before everybody suits up. Hopefully Jamie does something like that, you know, to represent like Sev and also Pitt and the other guys that we lost, you know, because we did kind of lose a lot of 9-man guys out there, man.
A lot, really.
It was a hard year. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you know, Eric, Boston, and you know those guys up north, Jamie, you know, they all get together and hopefully, you know, pay tribute, you know, to those guys that we lost.
I definitely 100% agree on that. I'm just glad to see us all finally get together, man. It's been a long time since a 9-man family have gotten together for a big gathering like this.
You got that right. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
I can't wait till. This is going to be great.
Indeed. Yeah, we may shock some people, you know. You know, the NFL is not playing. You know, there's a couple teams out there that, you know, not in the playoffs that I may have contacts with. You know, you may see an NFL player or two out there.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, we got to keep up with the main event and Bulldogs, right?
Gotta win.
Mm-hmm. Or we may not. We may just come with nobody. We may not have anybody. Hell,
Well,
I may not show up.
Any help? We got plenty of players here in the 4th state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, shit. I may not show up. I don't know. We got to see. Got to see what's going on.
I mean, I've seen Scorpions without you. I'm not so sure that's a good idea.
Nobody said it was a good idea. But, you know. Nah, man, it's going to be a good tournament, though, man. I can't wait. Can't wait to see everybody. You know. Hopefully, you know, give people the elbow bump.
I'll be glad. All out. 100%. 100%. Looking forward to it. Next Friday, we kick off 9-man nationals. Can't wait. It's going to be lit. It's going to be legit. And we'll have more coverage for everybody next week when we do our prediction shows.
My man. You better predict us to win, man. You ain't do that shit last year. At least one game. Give us one game. Against Cody and them. 7 point. How about that? Give us just for shits and giggles, just against them. You can have us losing to everybody else. But against them, nah. Gotta have us win. That's all I ask.
The whole thing for $20.
Oh, man. All right, Proc. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank everyone for joining us tonight. Shout out to all of our guests. It was a really good show, really good night. Glad to have everybody on. Want to thank Eric Bost, Kevin Clancy, Q Murphy, Chris Boone, Mike DeMartelier, and Greg Proctor for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Be safe, y'all.
You too, Proc. Anyways, anyhow, anywho, we're finished tonight. We'll catch you guys next week for more 9-man nationals coverage. I'm Joey Blaze with Ross Collins saying good night.